Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, hope you're all good. So I've got another wicked pedal demo today, courtesy of Wampler pedals. I'm sure you all know who they are. They're based out in the US and they make some wicked pedals, all sorts of stuff. I think I've demoed the Tom Quayle Dual Fusion pedal in the past, and the Pinnacle. They're just two great pedals, and this is no exception. Today we're looking at the Dracarys. Now, some of you who are fans of Game of Thrones will know what that is, and essentially it's a moment in Game of Thrones where a man is engulfed in flames by a dragon. However, this is a distortion pedal and it won't set you on fire, it'll just rip your face off with high gain awesomeness. So let's take a look at it. It's fairly straightforward. You've got bass, middle and treble, volume and gain. However, there is a little toggle switch in the middle, and that essentially goes between tight and open. It's essentially a compression switch. So in tight it compresses a bit more, like a tube amp being driven really hard, and then in open it's just a bit more breath to it. You can do a little bit more with it. For this demo I'm running it into my PV5150 Mark 1 on the clean channel, because I figured it's a fairly flat clean channel and it'll show off the pedal pretty well, because hopefully it'll just completely affect the signal and give you great tones. That's running out into my 2-note Torpedo Studio and then down into my Universal Audio Apollo 8P interface. So let's get started. Okay, so for this demo I'm using my PRS Paul's guitar. I love it, it's a great sounding guitar and it's got some coil splits, so we'll be able to get all sorts of different tones. If you look on the close-up cam you can see everything's set to 12 o'clock. We've currently got the toggle switch in open mode. So yeah, this is guitar straight into the 5150 clean sound. Right, let's just go for it. Let's hear what the Dracarys has to say. Fair play, that sounds insane. It's like an amp distortion, you know, it's really responsive. Kind of sounds like a bit Mesa, I guess, Mesa-like sort of sound. Let's mess around with the controls. Fair play. I mean, there's tons of gain, but it's a really nice voice of gain, if you know what I mean. I'm going to try a different guitar. I'm going to tune down. Okay, so I've got my Relic now down in drop C. I want to hear how good it riffs. that's a really well voiced pedal if you ask me. I mean, I've got the mid quite high and the gain quite high, but it's got that Mesa kind of tone to it. It's kind of squelchy in a good way. Feels really nice to play. Again, we're running into a clean channel on 5150. So it's really doing the world of justice to that clean channel. You know, there's a lot of flexibility between the tight and the open switch. There's quite a big volume jump between tight and open. But of course, when you compress something a lot, you're expected to lose a bit of volume without having to compensate by boosting the overall master. So it makes sense. So you're kind of going to have to choose between which ones you're going to use in a set, I guess. The thing I like about the EQ is that it's not unusable in any sort of setting. I mean, if I'll give you an example, I'll push the treble all the way up and so on and so forth. So check it out. It's worth saying that the 5150, the EQ it's basically all just flat halfway, so there's nothing, you know, colouring the pedal at all. Right, so let's try the same with the mid. Really is quite good. I'm going to push the tight switch down and we'll mess around with some of the tones now. Let's check it out. Fantastic chord definition. That's something I always look for in a distortion sound, is that you can hear all the strings when I'm playing chords. And just so you can see again on the close-up camera, we're running the gain pretty high, so that's where you should lose a bit of definition. But in my honest opinion, the Dracarys is incredibly good at what it does. It does exactly what it says on the tin. I suppose fire-breathing distortion is probably a good way to describe it, because it's seriously high gain but very controlled, and that is awesome. The Dracarys is £199.99, which you can find at Anderton's Music Co. I'm going to put a link in the description box below, so if you do like the sound of this pedal, I recommend going and checking it out at Anderton's or getting it online. Honestly, it's wicked. Again, if you're looking for an all-around, just great sounding distortion pedal that's easy to use, does what it says on the tin, and it's usable with different guitars in front of a clean amp, then there you go. I mean, enough said really. Thank you to the guys at Wampler for sending this pedal across for me to demo. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, comment and share if you liked it, and I will see you all very soon.